All right, let's dive into one of the biggest debates in all of options trading. You've really got two completely different ways of thinking that are always clashing. You have the purists, who are all about keeping things super simple, and then you have the strategists, who love building these intricate positions to manage their risk. So the big question is, which one is right for you?
And this one quote really gets to the absolute heart of the fight. It's a shot fired directly from the purist camp. They're basically saying that these fancy, complex strategies, well, they might look smart, but they're actually killing the very thing that makes an option powerful to begin with. We're going to break down exactly what that means.
You know, when you first get into options, the sheer number of strategies can make your head spin. But there's a reason for all that complexity. It's because options give you this incredible flexibility. You can cook up a trade for pretty much any opinion you have on the market, whether you think it's going up, down, or absolutely nowhere. And that flexibility, it's their biggest strength. And it's also the source of this whole debate.
And this is the world we're talking about. On one end of the spectrum, you've got the simple, straightforward buying of a call or a put. But on the other end, you have these multi-legged monsters with wild names like iron condors and butterflies. What we're going to explore today is why on earth a trader would choose one of these paths over the other.
So let's start with the purists. Their whole philosophy is built on one thing: simplicity. They believe in using the raw power of an option for what it was made for, leverage, and the shot at potentially unlimited profits. Anything that complicates that, in their view, is just plain wrong.
And trust me, they do not hold back. This quote from trader Christopher Uhl pretty much says it all, right? The purist view is that most of these complex strategies are, well, to be blunt, dumb. The argument is that you're just adding a bunch of moving parts for no real upside.
So the purist's playbook? It's as simple as it gets. You think a stock's going up? You buy a call. You think it's headed down? You buy a put. End of story. The entire goal is to keep that unlimited profit potential on the table. They ask a simple question: why would you ever build a strategy that puts a ceiling on how much money you can make? It just defeats the whole purpose of trading options in the first place. And that's exactly where the strategists jump in, because they have a really compelling answer to that question. For them, it's not all about chasing unlimited home runs. It's about playing the odds, managing your costs, and most importantly, controlling your risk.
For a strategist, giving up that unlimited profit isn't a loss. It's a trade. And what do they get in return? Well, they get these three massive advantages. They know their absolute worst-case scenario right from the get-go. It usually costs them less to get into the trade. And get this, sometimes they can even make money if the stock doesn't move at all.
And this idea of defined risk is absolutely critical for the strategist. For a lot of traders, this is everything. I mean, think about it. Instead of that constant fear of losing your entire investment on a simple option, a defined risk strategy tells you right up front, hey, this is the absolute most you can possibly lose, period. That peace of mind, it can be way more valuable than a lottery ticket shot at unlimited gains.
Okay, so to really bring this debate to life, let's zoom in on one specific strategy that's right at the center of this whole argument: the bear put spread. It's the perfect example of how a strategist thinks and acts in the market.
So a bear put spread is what you use when you think a stock is going down, but you're not expecting a total crash. You build it by buying a put option, which gives you the right to sell the stock, and then you immediately sell a cheaper put at a lower price. That sale helps pay for the one you bought.
And here's what that looks like. Check out this profit and loss graph. With a simple long put, your potential profit line just keeps going down and down. But here, it flattens out. See that? Your maximum gain is capped. But just as important, your maximum loss is also capped. Everything is known the second you click buy.
And putting one on is actually pretty simple. It's just two steps. First, you buy the put that's more expensive, the one closer to the current stock price. Then you sell a cheaper put that's further away from the money. The cash you get from selling that second put lowers the total cost of your bet, and because of that, it lowers your total risk.
All right, now we get it. So let's put these two philosophies head to head. Let's imagine the purist and the strategist are both looking at this exact same bear put spread. What do they see?
So here's where it all comes together. The strategist looks at this and sees a beautiful, elegant, risk-controlled trade. It costs less to get in, the max loss is known, it's perfect for a stock you think is just going to drift down a bit. But the purist looks at the exact same trade and sees a mess. They see capped profits. They see that evaporating delta, which means as the stock falls, the trade doesn't gain value as fast as a simple put would. And you're paying transaction fees on two options instead of one. To them, It's just an inefficient, limited trade.
Look, at the end of the day, there's no single right answer here. It's not about proving one side is smarter than the other. It's all about figuring out which philosophy actually fits with your own personal goals, how much risk you can stomach, and how you see the market.
This table really lays it all out. If you are absolutely convinced a stock is going to tank and you want that massive home run payoff, well, the purist's path makes a lot of sense. Just buy the put. But if you're just kind of bearish and knowing your exact risk is more important to you than chasing some huge gain, then the strategist's bear put spread is the much more logical choice. It is a direct trade-off, profit potential versus risk management.
And that really is the final question you have to ask yourself. Are you a purist, swinging for the fences and looking for those unlimited gains? Or are you a strategist, someone who's focused on defining your risk and playing a game of probabilities? The answer is going to shape your entire trading journey.